guys, it's Alice, and today it is time for my October book haul. Now, before we get into the books, you may notice that I am wearing my glasses, and that is because we've got a little sponsor today. The glasses that I'm wearing right now are my actual glasses, like I paid for these myself, and I got them a little over a year ago, I think, and you may remember that I mentioned them in a favorites video, and they're from a brand called TIJN. And I got an email from them saying, hey, do you want some glasses? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. Just for full transparency, I got 2 pairs of glasses in return for mentioning them in a video. And I feel very comfortable doing that, seeing as I'm already familiar with this brand and I'm really happy with the glasses that I got myself. And they are like way cheaper than anything I could find in an actual store in Oslo. So I got to pick 2 pairs of glasses and I figured I would just wear them in this video so you can see what they look like. I actually really like wearing glasses and I do need either glasses or contacts because I literally can't see without them. And I think it can be a really cool look, but I don't really wear them in videos because glare is a problem and I don't really know if you guys care about that, but in this video, we're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna start by wearing these black glasses that I really like, and I actually almost got these the last time I got glasses, but I went with the other pair instead. I think these are really simple and cool, even if I'm not particularly cool. Anyways, let's get on to the books. First up this month, I picked up 2 of these new books from Vintage, who have published some of Iris Murdoch's books in these new beautiful covers. So I got The Sea, and The Bell. I got The Bell because I read somewhere that this is a good place to start with Iris Murdoch because I've never read any of her books. The story is about this little religious community and about a woman from London who joins them, and I think her arrival causes a bit of a stir. The Sea, I got because I've had it on my TBR for quite some time, and the story is about this playwright who retires from London to live at this isolated mansion to write his memoirs. I'm intrigued to read some of this author's work because for some reason it has just completely passed me by, but I actually think I'm really going to like it, so I'm very excited. Next, I picked up The Book of Flora by Meg Ellison. This is the 3rd book in the Road to Nowhere series, which is a post-apocalyptic series, and the first book is The Book of the Unnamed Midwife, which I read earlier this year, and that follows a midwife trying to survive in this world where almost everyone has died. I picked this up because I just loved the first book so much, I kind of wanted to have all the books in the series ready to read. Then I got The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This is a historical fiction novel inspired by Russian fairy tales, and we meet this family who lives out in the wilderness and winter lasts almost all year long, and I think they have these rituals that honor different types of spirits, but then the mother of the family dies and the father remarries, and this new wife doesn't want them to do these rituals, and then I think we realize that the daughter of the family has some sort of magical powers. I don't really know, but a lot of people seem to really love this book, and I feel like this is the perfect winter book. And also, it has been a while since I've read any fairy tale inspired stories, and I usually really like them. Next, I picked up a non-fiction book, and it is From Here to Eternity by Caitlin Doughty. This is written by a mortician who has traveled around the world to see how different cultures take care of their dead, which I just think sounds so fascinating. And I've actually had this book recommended to me by several of you guys, so I'm very excited to have it. Then I got sent a book, not by the publishers, but by a subscription service called Osusume Books. I hope I'm saying that right. And they are a subscription service that specializes in Japanese contemporary novels for English readers, which I think is so cool. So they asked if they could send me a book, and I was like, sure, that would be amazing. And the one they sent me was The Devotion of Suspect X by Kaigo Higashino. Now, they did ask me what Japanese books I had already read and which ones I owned, so they wouldn't send me something I already had, which was great, and I'm really impressed with this pick because I had never heard of this book and it sounds perfect for me. It's a mystery thriller crime book, and it's about this woman who lives a very quiet life in Tokyo until her ex-husband appears at her doorstep and tries to like blackmail her for money or something, and I don't think it goes very well. So I'm really excited to read this. It also says this is like the Japanese Stieg Larsson, which makes me very excited. I also picked up a poetry collection this month, and it was Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernell. And I got this because it was very heavily recommended to me, and the person who was talking about it like really made me want to read it. All I really know is that it's about love and heartbreak, and that this person who recommended it to me really loved it. So since we're nearing the end, I've changed into these other glasses, which I really like, although they do feel a little bit more out there. I have been told that this shape is like a good shape for my face because it's quite round, but I don't really know if I'm cool enough to pull these off, but we're just gonna go with it. Lastly, I got a bunch of books in Norwegian, some of which were like late birthday presents and one that was sent to me by the publishers. And the first two I got are both by the Swedish author Camilla Läckberg. So we have got Isprinsessan and Gullburet. Isprinsessan translates to the Ice Princess, and this is the first book in the Fjällbacka series, which I think is like her most famous series. It's about this woman who returns to her remote Swedish hometown after I think her parents have died, and then while she's there, her childhood best friend commits suicide, and there are some discrepancies with that, so I think she teams up with a local police officer to sort of sort it out. Gullburet translates to Golden Cage, and I'm pretty sure this is not a part of a series. I think it's a standalone, and it's also a crime novel, and it's about this woman who has like the perfect life, but she feels like she's given up a lot to get it. So when her husband betrays her, she decides to seek a terrible revenge. Lastly, I got two books by Maja Lunde, who is Norwegian, and these books are a part of her Climate Quartet series, the first book being The History of Bees. So I got Blå, which I bought myself, and then I was sent Przewalski's Hest, which was only just recently published. Blå translates to blue, but this has gotten the English title The End of the Ocean, I believe, and this is besides the point, but the cover for the English edition is so beautiful, like it's just so pretty. Either way, this follows two different timelines. One is of a 70-year-old woman in 2019 who decides to cross an ocean in a sailboat, and then the other is set in 2041, and it's about this man who flees southern Europe, and it's like war-torn and plagued by drought. Przewalski's Hest translates to Przewalski's Horse, and this also follows several different timelines. We've got one in 1881 in St. Petersburg, and that follows a zoologist. We've got one in 1992 in Mongolia, and that follows a veterinarian, I believe. And then the last one is set in Norway in 2064, and it's about a female farmer. This last one hasn't been translated into English, at least not that I could find, although I'm sure it will be soon. And just by the way, all of the books in this like series, they're in a series but not really, like they don't follow any of the same characters or anything, so you can just read them out of order if you want to. Okay guys, that was everything I had to talk about today. I will of course link to everything that I've mentioned down below, and I would love to know if you have picked up any exciting new books lately, or if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, what did you think? And I will see you soon. Bye!